get to the rack and penetrate the defense.
3 of the top 4 women's basketball teams in the nation are here in Las Vegas at the Players Era. We begin with UCLA and Texas, and Ledger Walker and the Bruins have the first possession. Taya Sidbury getting the start, with Texas a bit short-handed due to injury. That's first touch all the way out near the three-point line.
And if you're Vic Schaefer, you've got to be proud of your team and there right there is that passing ability. Sometimes you cut a little harder when you know a post player is capable of making that pass. That is definitely an evolution of Lauren Betts' game, being able to find her teammates.
Candace, she's averaging nearly 4 assists per game in this opening month, as Rory Harmon has the answer. Gabriela Jaquez having a great senior season. That's on the face-up. Gets right shoulder, spots the shooter. Jaquez couldn't hit it. Check out for Booker.
And right there, Lauren Betts being pushed out. She's got to make an effort to try to get into the paint, because Texas isn't going to all the way double with her that far from the basket.
Jordan Lee from the mid-range.
Knocking down a couple mid-range jump shots.
Kiki Rice in the phenomenal matchup of point guards. What an angle. Found Betts. She was held.
Kiki Rice trying to take advantage of the one-on-one matchup in transition, and Rory Harmon just defensively is so tough.
Kyla Oldacre makes a quick appearance. Angela Dugalich off the bench for Corey Close in the Bruins lineup.
And Dugalich will move Kiki Rice back to the 1.
Harmon hits. What you call Madison Booker, mid-range Maddie? All of her teammates are doing more of the same.
And that's what she needs them to do right there as we get the rim run.
Gabriela Jaquez just eclipsed 1,000 career points in a UCLA uniform.
And right here, UCLA electing to go a little bit of zone. I think they're willing to live with the 3, with Texas taking the 3 as...
Those two are 4-year roommates at UCLA. They were co-MVPs at the 2022 McDonald's All-American game. Rice stumbles. UCLA still has it. Deacon's pass intercepted. Jordan Lee with track speed. Timeout UCLA.
Well, the big thing is, I know UCLA only has 2 turnovers, but Texas thrives on turnovers. That's how they're able to get in fast break and get their playmakers going, as Betts misses that and Booker grabs the rebound.
Once again, from the short corner, Rory Harmon begins 3 for 3. Dugalich trying to get that post entry from a tough angle. Gabriela Jaquez goes to work off the bounce with Lee defending. Active hands again. Sidbury got the deflection but not the steal. Dugalich makes it hurt.
And right there, if you're Vic Schaefer, your team is doing everything you're asking them to do. 3-quarter front, making post entries difficult.
Chelsea, what'd you learn from the most recent Bruin huddle as Lee drives?
Yeah, JB, Lauren Betts in that last huddle was yelling at her teammates saying, we need to play our game. She said, they're overplaying the post, so you guys need to cut. You need to move more without the ball. Corey Close saying that they didn't do anything that they said that they were going to do defensively. Offensively, she said, we have to stop playing one-on-one and just watching them deny our passes, JB.
Neepkins knifes in off the Betts screen.
Lauren Betts effect right there. Neepkins takes advantage of it.
Taya Sidbury. That's a tough left-handed runner in the lane.
Lee doing a great job. Sidbury as well in the guard position.
How about the handle from Ledger Walker, but she charges. Offensive foul. If the knock on Texas was at 5-0 and ranked number 4, they hadn't been tested yet. This is plenty, and so far they pass with flying colors. Weak side rebound off the near air ball. Justice Carlton cleans up. Dugalich, that is a tough angle to try and find Beck. So Cunningham started, picked up a foul left for Kyla. She now has 2, and it evens out on the whistle here. First on Dugalich, third on Corey Close's UCLA Bruins. Booker with her back to the basket. Carlton handles. Oh, erased by Betts.
Great weak side block.
Rice on the run, had it checked away by Booker.
Right here, C-rim. Carlton, great drive, but better defense by Betts. I'd like to see them get Betts a little bit of a better touch in the paint on this possession.
Here is where we'll mention that Ashton Judd, Brianna Preston, Aaliyah Crump, all missing today for Texas due to injuries. So the foul story is certainly something to watch as they get a rebound and a breakout with Harmon. She looks for reinforcements, throws it down the lane. Everything but the bucket for the Longhorns and a late whistle. She got the foul on Betts, her first. Carlton, a sophomore from Katy, Texas. Didn't play as much in conference as a freshman, but now squarely in the Vic Schaefer rotation. 2 minutes left in our first quarter. Down in Eakins with the lob. Lauren Betts has the catch in the hoop.
And UCLA clearing out the backs. Very minimal help side. Great pass on the money.
Harmon to Lee off the pin down screen. Good action. Gets Booker. A clean shot, and she does not miss from there. Rice from the baseline. Here's Betts at the elbow. Offensive foul. Harmon's been a pest.
Guard, Ledger Walker, you got to pitch to your big and come off, because one-on-one, her foot speed and quickness is just too dynamic and great.
Booker, bottoms. Longhorns have scored 10 of the last 12 points in the closing stretch of this opening stanza. Betts still can't settle down the Bruins. Final 10 seconds belong to Texas. They've got 9 of 18 from the floor. Harmon, her choice of screens. Carlton, pick and pop. They lead by 10 after one. Harmon has not missed. Rice has not scored in this point guard battle we're watching closely.
And I think Harmon's going to have to play heavy minutes with Preston out with that foot. She is usually the one that comes in and is able to give Harmon a rest. So we'll see if the defensive intensity, which I'm sure, because Harmon's in shape, will continue throughout the game.
Better contest there from UCLA on the Booker jumper. The Bruins are 30% shooting from the floor. They've not yet connected from three. Lee to the baseline. Rattles out on Harmon after she connected on her first 3 shots.
Ledger Walker on the bench. Do you bring her in to kind of ignite your offense? Because she's usually the one that gets them set, gets them where they need to go.
Booker gets to her spots. Every pass contested. Dugalich off the mark. Betts on the iron. Rice makes the extra pass. Meekins, relocation 3. It's been that type of morning here in Las Vegas for the Bruins. Harmon out to Lee. Knockdown.
And right there, Texas winning every hustle play on that extra effort, that rebound, and Coach Close grabs Ledger Walker. She sees the writing on the wall.
Rice patrolling off the bounce. See if they can get her started.
And Rice has to get herself going. You got to call your own number. You got to be aggressive.
Real hezzy. Oh, everything but the highlight for Harmon. Look at Carlton clean up again. A menace on the offensive board. Rice spots a shooter. Good closeout there from Booker to deny Ledger Walker. Mid-range hits. What an answer from Charlize Ledger Walker. That has been the only solution to keeping her off of the offensive board. Take her shoe off. Booker at the midway point of the second. So good at creating space to fire.
Right shoulder, left shoulder.
Looked like UCLA wanted to run a play for Gianna Neepkins there, but it was denied by Texas. She gets a touch here with 5 to shoot.
And because of the pressure of Texas, they could not see, as that is what Ledger Walker can do, as UCLA goes to this matchup zone right here, trying anything to stop Texas on the offensive end.
Harmon over on the skip. Lee, got it. Jordan Lee has had a great first half.
And every question Texas has had an answer today.
So 2 on Oldacre, 2 on Cunningham. The foul story for Texas so far. Jaquez attacks the closeout and commits the offensive foul.
Struggling to get Lauren the ball. They did get it to her on that last possession. She got fouled, but the one thing that was written on their board in that last huddle was get the ball inside. We've been seeing Lauren battling inside. They haven't been able to feed her as much as they wanted to, but Corey Close saying for them to stay composed and to get her the ball.
A sweet no-look pass from Booker there. Harmon couldn't hit it, but Cunningham did on the weak side. That's with a short clock. Finds Ledger Walker. Low crossover, a fall away. Betts has to be now for the Bruins.
And if you're Betts, your team can't get you the ball in the paint. You got to go get it off the glass.
Booker running the baseline. After her own, can't give her a second look. Booker does not miss.
And UCLA in these last 2 minutes has to find something to get going, as Neepkins does a great job penetrating into the lane.
Harmon drives the top of that zone. Out to Booker for 3.
You talk about a duo that knows each other. Harmon, how do you beat a zone? You beat it by drawing to and kicking.
That's why she could be the Texas all-time assist leader before they fly home to Austin. All right, so the offense have been picking up for Betts and the Bruins. UCLA has scored on their last 3 trips. Now can they dig in defensively? Harmon blocked but fouled.
And Rory Harmon having herself an efficient game. She's impacted this first half. Quarterback that defense, been the first line of defense and made things really difficult for UCLA.
Transformative power of their point guard on display again today. Ledger Walker checked by Booker. Oh, with some English on the second side. An offensive flourish at the end of this half. Carlton downhill, shoulders the defender, and scores.
I love Carlton's physicality.
The Longhorns have hit their last 3. The Bruins have made 4 straight field goals, and they want the last going to the half. Rejecting the Betts screen. Pass intercepted. Lee hits the Jets. Harmon with 3. Wins the race to the rim and caps the half with that layup.
And the Texas Longhorns have come to Vegas ready to play. 12 points off turnovers. They force UCLA to turn it over 10 times. And let's see if Texas can continue to apply this defensive pressure. But UCLA has to figure out ways to get the ball into Lauren Betts.
Betts with 6 points. Rice with only 2 in that first half. So here's an early touch. You can tell they're deliberate about it. And look who's there to swipe it away. Booker may have injured Betts, who's still down behind the play, as Lee spots up, and it pops out.
And right there, Lauren Betts down in pain. The ball goes into Lauren Betts, and Texas only... Oh my goodness, it looks like her shoulder. Sister Sienna Betts, who we have yet to see this season with that knee injury, so still anxious to see that front court duo back, but just hoping Lauren Betts is okay.
Pretty close was the expression that Corey Close told us last night about Sienna's return to performance and hopefully her UCLA debut. So they turn to Ledger Walker.
Let's get her to that sweet spot in the middle of the floor that she likes.
The play through the post. Brea Cunningham gets left shoulder and threads it. Dugalich on that handoff. Rice blocked by Lee. Not just the snap at the possession.
I know we've talked a lot about Rory Harmon, but on the wing, you talk about switchability. Lee, Booker, that size, that length can make things difficult.
Booker looking for that post entry. Jaquez there to pester it. Lee up top. Lee connects.
And Lee on this end is having herself a game.
Gianna Neekins on the throwback. Clean look at three for the Bruins. They can't answer with Dugalich. Offensive rebound, Ledger Walker. Neekins knocked off the line and foul. And as you see at the top of your screen there, Lauren Betts is back.
Where you're going to be, or where you hope to be in March when the stakes get even higher. So this is a good gauge. Great competition to see where your team is and what they need to do.
UCLA's only lead came on the opening hoop, and it's been all Texas since. Booker harassed. Lee spacing out the wing. Driving kick. Harmon hits!
And there's this thing called confidence. I think you've got to keep size on Booker. If you put somebody small on her, she just rises above you.
Jaquez downhill. Nice finish. Gabriela Jaquez.
Because then it poses problems for your defense. You have to double, you have to bring two, and then it opens up things for UCLA to drive lanes and to get open three-point shots.
Neekins gives it right back. Olaker with the deflection. Lee spots up. Trail three. Look at Carlton.
Justice Carlton.
Justice Carlton with great minutes off the Texas bench. UCLA was livid that she was not called for a foul.
That's matchup.
3 fouls on Kyla Olaker. Neekins with the back to the basket. Gets in deep. Patient with that bucket.
And Neekins, I think I'm with her. She deserved the and one on that play. Doing a great job operating in the post. I think they could utilize UCLA's wings in the post. Ledger Walker has had some success in there.
Lee thought about it. Attacks off the bounce instead. Flat on the jumper. Look who's there for the board.
And Carlton doesn't get the rebound on that, but man.
Carlton alone has more second chance points than UCLA. What do we have here? A violation? Yeah, I think that's going to rob Booker of what would have been her first free throw attempt.
And Vic Schaefer was not happy on that. He is not satisfied with this 21-point lead.
And Booker makes the most of her opportunity. Here's the lull that UCLA's been waiting for. Texas 0 for their last 5. Haven't made a bucket in over 3 minutes. Can the Bruins make a move? These will be UCLA's first free throws of the game. 4 days of college hoops action and HBO Max.
The team that is imposing their will and their style of play on the opponent, and that's what Texas has done. And sometimes when that happens, calls go your way. UCLA has to be more physical. They have to seek contact on the offensive end, and then they will get to the free throw line.
Booker distributing. The passion, the intangibles would win, which I think is what you're getting at there.
Well, Texas took away the game plan, and there's still a lot of time left, and as Neekins gets the nice bucket, has been relentless in the passing lanes and making things difficult for entries in the post.
Booker, pull-up J. Nearly missed it all, scrapping for the rebound. Who else? Justice Carlton to Harmon. Oh, now she's feeling it.
And right there, again, I talk about this often. That is a practice shot.
Of all the boxes that Rory Harmon has checked, that's not one of them. Now she's got back-to-back threes in Las Vegas. Another empty trip for UCLA. I want to see a Harmon heat check. Am I alone? Denied the chance on the turnover. Carlton bumps Rice.
You see the ball going once, then your confidence goes through the roof.
Coming off a mid-spring shoulder procedure. While she was away, Gabriela Jaquez got to run the backup point guard in practice and really benefited from that. Trouble getting it in for Texas. Carlton flings it. Bruins on the move.
And UCLA taking a page out of Texas's book.
Dugalich finds Neekins. There it is for the Bruins.
One more foul and they will be shooting for the remainder of the quarter.
Lee, shot fake. And that's the foul that the Bruins have been begging for.
Kiki Rice set this table by going to the basket, getting to the free throw line.
UCLA, as we mentioned, did not shoot a foul shot in the first half. They've made all 6 of their free throws here in the third. Harmon dribbles out of that short corner. Cunningham fouled by Betts.
To just put her hands up and make Cunningham score over this wingspan, that is a foul. You can't come across the shoulder, but...
Here's Bray Cunningham, a junior and a California native. She began her career in Tucson. Candace calling back to the steal and the score for Texas going to the halftime locker room that opened up their largest lead. It was 20 then. How much can the Bruins trim? Nice. They find Betts on the roll.
Pick and roll. I like it. Gets Betts a layup and some momentum for the Bruins. There is a heartbeat. 15-point deficit. 12 offensive rebounds sparked by Carlton, getting second opportunities for her Texas Longhorns.
A matchup of undefeateds and top 4 teams in Las Vegas at the Players Era Championship. Cunningham under control, draws front iron. UCLA gets a stop to begin the fourth. Ace Ledger Walker early to Betts. Waits for the traffic to clear. Dugalich rotates to Rice. Rice drives a crease, finds Neekins. UCLA on the move. Lead to Booker. Operating from the elbow. A deflection. A steal. Dugalich running with Rice. And she calls her own number. The Bruins are back within 10. And Vic Schaefer says stop it. Timeout Texas.
And that's what the Bruins needed.
And he told his team that last run is on us. We knew that they were going to go on to a run. It's how we respond. He said, we can't have defensive lapses and we have to stop turning the ball over. We have to execute. And for about 8 minutes, we have to play them even.
Rice wanted Betts her whole way down the floor. Instead, brings the whistle and puts a foul on Sidbury. Close told us last night that Kiki's influence on this program has been transformational. Now Booker doesn't like what she sees. Maintains the dribble. Takes a Sidbury screen. Now another from Cunningham. It's a contested 2, and UCLA does its part. A rebounding foul to stop the clock with 5:34. Sidbury out with 3, Oldacre in with 3. Angela Dugalich traps, dead on the dribble. Betts, look where all the Bruins are. 30 feet beyond the bucket still with 10 to shoot. Betts hands off Rice. Able to get all the way home. Kiki Rice.
And right there, the defense raised.
A gift.
Great turnover.
Rice again.
Kiki Rice to the cup. This is a 6-point game.
From down 23, UCLA putting a scare into the Longhorns. Harmon can't turn the corner. Rice gets a steal. Her path is clear. Kiki Rice taking over. of the last 25.
This UCLA press is giving Texas a little bit of problems. So first you need a clean inbound to get your offense started.
The Longhorns have missed their last 5 shots. Their scoring drought is over 4 minutes to open the door for UCLA.
I also feel like there's a balance between slowing the game down too much and pace within your offense. I think Texas was trying to wind down the clock, and it has impacted their pace and space in the half-court offense.
They lost a bit of their edge playing with the lead, protecting it. Booker trying to get it back. Harmon in the lane with 6. Pull-up jumper, there it is. Dugalich looking for Rice. From down 23, Kiki's bringing him back. She's fouled. TNT Sports coverage of the Players Era is presented by Lilly, a medicine company, and by Geico. It feels good to Geico. After a sluggish start, you look up and suddenly Rice has 16 points. Harmon to lead. 3-on-2. The Longhorns want it. They spin out of that break and put it back in the hands of their point guard.
And again, they go to this action with Lee running off of pin downs. Madison Booker's stroke hasn't fallen in the second half, so they're putting the ball in Lee's hands right now.
Harmon turns down the 3, back in the lane. She goes back to back.
And right there, again, getting to her spots with ease.
Rice putting on a show.
Because they've really relied on her to score with Madison Booker going quiet in the second half.
Harmon's 22, extending her season high. Inbound to Betts. Kiki Rice off the floor momentarily. Neepkins returns. Relocation triple. Contested. She's got it back. Neepkins asking for some poise here. Setting up the screen from Lauren Betts. In and out dribble. Seeing that second defender. Can she find the shooter?
Help side defense by Texas.
Dugalich. Nearly a 3-point opportunity. Now a graduate student, such a valuable reserve for UCLA. Likely the front runner for the 6th player of the year.
UCLA at small moments where they've made their run, they've gotten contributions from a lot of different players. You think about Dugalich, you think about the impact that Neepkins has had. And if you're UCLA, you cannot get beat again by Harmon at the end of the shot clock. You have to deny and make things tough for her, and sometimes maybe make her take a contested 3-point shot instead of that mid-range that she loves.
Orange trying to find Booker. Put it in her hands with 12 to shoot. Gets Ledger Walker on the switch. The spin. Can't score it. Betts has the board. From down 23, it's a 2-possession game. Ledger Walker attack. She's blocked.
And that is just the athleticism.
Trying to get Neepkins, one of her sharpshooters, a look. Into Dugalich. Here's Neepkins off the screen. Just missed. Big board by Oldacre.
That was a huge possession. UCLA getting a nice, clean look.
Booker with the basketball. She scored 14 points today. Lee with 13. Pulls up. Hits the roller. Oldacre arrived at 56% early in this season at the foul line.
And again, Texas 62% on the year as a team. Doing a great job knocking it down. Now 10 of 11 from the charity stripe.
See if the Bruins can find a 3 here.
They can't take up too much time on this possession. They need to get a shot up so that they can have a chance to foul Texas and try to get the ball back.
Neepkins knocked off the 3-point line, knocked out of bounds, and over to Texas. Madison Booker has the honor. Into Harmon. They give the foul. Again, not necessarily the strength of her game, but she's 3 for 3 today. Is that enough for the Horns to withstand the challenge from UCLA?
Try to get to the free throw line with the clock stopped.
Bruins scored 22 points in the third quarter, 17 here in the fourth, but that should do it. Harmon with the steal, and she's going to guide Texas to the championship of the Players era.
Super impressed with her outing today. Always patient, only one turnover today. She's really ran this offense and quarterbacked this defense.
A 7-player rotation, and they spin it around tomorrow night.
Always enjoy going to Pauley Pavilion and watching some good hoops.
Rice cut off on the baseline. It's probably for the best.
Rooting for them in every other game.
Had they played even a shade like this off the opening tip, it could have been a different game.
Well, this is what you want. These are two teams that went to the Final Four last year.
What about from the Texas lens? Was what they accomplished in the first half at all tarnished by the second half, or did they just manage the game accordingly?
Key stops, extra possessions, especially with a depleted lineup. Madison Booker didn't have a Madison Booker game, 6 of 17.
Gone 8 for 8 down the stretch to keep the Bruins at bay. Rice made a good run. Her stat line will look much better here when it's done than it did at the half. But Corey Close has seen enough. A surrender, and Texas's 6th win is going to be its best of the young season. The number 4 team in the nation knocks off the 3. The Longhorns beat the Bruins. Led by as many as 23, withstood a late surge. 76-65, the final from Las Vegas. Texas to the title game. They await South Carolina in Duke.